Hi everyone, this is Nisha, and with me are Kevin and Aswathy, and it is officially race week. Okay, but before we even touch down in Melbourne and start talking about 2026 chaos, can we please talk about the fact that some teams haven't actually reached Bahrain yet? And yes, this is because of the conflict situation in the West Asian countries. I'm not using the word Middle East anymore. But essentially, after testing in Bahrain, some of the teams haven't been able to take flights out and move all of their equipment to Australia. Now, we're recording this on Wednesday, and what I heard was that today, British Airways and another company called AirX have managed to ship some of the Formula One cars to Melbourne. So, this is going to be really, really tight,
Yeah.
right? But let me ask the question to both of you. What has been your biggest pre-season headline so far? Ladies first. Ashwati, go ahead.
I think there's been a lot of drama this season with like the new regs and everything. I feel like for me, it would be Ferrari's performance in the testing. It looks very, very promising. It's not a word I've often used, but that's the biggest highlight for me. I'm excited to see the skewer in action in Melbourne this weekend.
Ashwati is like a true tifosi, right? Never giving up, just like smoking that hopium day in day out. but,
Definitely.
but Kevin, what about you?
For me, obviously, it's Aston Martin. So there are rumors floating around that they might just do the mandatory kind of like
Oh,
starting lap and retire because they don't have enough spare parts. So it's going to be interesting to see because there are a lot of expectations on them. Like coming into the season, there were a lot of they were in the news for a lot of good reasons. New
Yeah.
principle and everything like that. So it's sad to see it go down this way if it does. I
Mm.
think the one who's most hardest hit by this is sadly Alonso, who must be dying on the inside. What about
Yeah,
what about you,
I'm
Nish?
sure. Yeah, I mean, poor Alonso. I really do feel for him. He just like stayed on in a team hoping for the best. Like, oh, this is the chance that I win at least one race.
Yeah.
And they're like, how about let's see if we
How
can
about
take the car out
no?
only. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the most interesting thing that I read was that Cadillac is apparently bringing upgrades to the
How,
first
how
race.
this one,
I
like
wow.
how is that even possible? Like, are they like deploying like a security patch on Android or something? What are these guys
that's
doing, dude?
that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're adding
Like,
autopilot.
yeah, like imagine the best part is they turn on the car and suddenly the fonts change and they're like, "Welcome to iOS 15." But like,
Oh
what?
shit. Oh, that would be
the
sad.
car the car suddenly has liquid glass display. It's Tim Cook comes out in the startup
No, no.
screen. Hi guys.
It's that new Samsung thing where they have privacy display and
Oh
both
yeah,
as
the car who's on
both.
the side can't see what's happening. They're like, oh, what gear are you on? Oh my god! But
But let's move on to the episode. This is F101, your friendly neighborhood F1 podcast.
that doesn't gatekeep but overshares.
Race updates, meme, and technical stuff.
We are gearing up to go racing in Australia, but before we start talking about the actual track, I'm going to ask both of you, give me your one prediction for Constructors Champion and Drivers Champion. Kevin, let's start with you this time.
I'm not the best when it comes to predictions, given how my predictions went last year. But I'm still going to stick to what I said the last year, and I'm putting all my eggs in the one basket that is Red Bull Racing. I
Let's go.
have a lot of hope. Maybe the Drivers' Championship will be interesting to see how they perform,
Mm-hmm.
because you've got a Max Verstappen on one side, and you've got the talented, comparatively newer driver in the second seat.
Yeah.
Constructors is going to be a little bit confusing, but the drivers is where I'm putting my money down on Max, hopefully to win. What about
Mm-hmm.
you, Ashwati? What do you got for us?
As much as it hurts me to say this, I feel like Mercedes has got like a strong chance this year. definitely with constructors. With drivers, I think Russell is going to put on a performance of a lifetime. It's going to
Yeah.
be Russell and Lando for drivers. I want to say Max. I love Max. But just thinking about the car, they moved away with Honda. It's a new engine. I feel like they're going to have some kind of reliability issues first half of the season, like they usually do. So I love Max. I believe in him as a driver, but I just don't think the car will be able to give him what he needs. So Mercedes, McLaren for 1, 2, maybe a little bit Ferrari in there too.
So just to kind of reconfirm, you are a Ferrari fan, aren't you?
That's why I started with
You
the
know,
Aswathy. I hate to say this. I can say I want
Okay.
Charles Leclerc a world championship, but I'm gonna happen.
Yeah, okay. Now we're going to do a supercut of all the times that she fought with us because we said something against Ferrari. Just
you
saying.
know, this is so funny because my choice for constructors championship is Ferrari. I think
Wow.
Wow. How
I
the
don't know.
turntables.
I know. Right? Well. I don't know why, but I mean, not like my predictions have been stellar in the past, but I think that they have sort of nailed it in terms of how, like, the start procedure. They've sort of nailed it in terms, and the two drivers are very good in their own right, and I think they're going to work together, and like they will get the constructors championship. But for drivers, I'm going to agree with
Russell?
Ashwati. It's gonna be Russell. I think it's gonna be Russell. I think
Wow.
he's gonna like really pull out something insane because I also
Yeah.
think he's gonna be the most consistent.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. He had a very consistent
plus,
season last year also. He did really well. And the thing is, he came so close to,
yeah,
he came so close
Yeah.
that he now knows that it's possible. The only kind
exactly.
of thing that might be a little bit, I don't know, maybe not to his favor is how the regulations have changed. So there's a little bit of maybe questions into how they go into the season because he only
Hmm.
knows his car. He doesn't know how everybody else is.
Mhm.
So that might
Fair,
be kind of like a little bit of a learning curve for him.
fair. But also, he
Hmm?
has another big advantage in Kimi Antonelli because Kimi
Oh,
is going to go take out everyone else.
oh my God. No, but I genuinely feel like, I mean, like after McLaren, those guys have, that the
Yeah.
teamwork down to like, a science when it comes. So I think constructors, it's between the two of them,
I was
honestly.
making a joke. I
Uh,
that Kimmy's gonna be the bazooka.
uh,
You know the edits that I'm talking about, Kevin. He's
yeah.
let's
Give me a
No,
gentle reminder, gentle reminder that he got a Mercedes, like a road car,
yeah.
yeah.
and one on Instagram on one day posted how he was cleaning it and taking care of it, and second day
Yeah.
there were videos of him crashing it on the side.
But I also want to highlight the fact that I love how between the two of you guys, both of you have made switches in terms of
That's
your
true.
driver and
It's
construction.
it's not switches.
This
It's
is
just
the perfect time to just say parkour,
it,
parkour.
but honestly, it's not a switch. You just know as a
Yeah.
Ferrari fan, you don't talk positively about Ferrari. You don't want to jinx it. You don't want to say anything. You just want to let Ferrari happen and just
Yeah,
ignore it until it happens.
makes sense. Makes sense.
That's what it is. That's how you do the
Yeah.
opium
Yes.
drug that Ferrari
Yeah.
fans live on.
Yeah.
But we are heading to Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia, which used to be the traditional season opener and a super chaotic one, as we saw last year. It is a 5.278 kilometer semi street circuit. It's wrapped around a public park and a lake. We'll be racing 58 laps around 14 corners with an elevation of 2.5 kilometers. If you want a deep dive, corner by corner breakdown, historical chaos, sector analogies, and all of that stuff, we did a full episode on Melbourne last year. So go back and revisit because, my God, we went full nerd on that. But for now, I need to ask, do you guys remember what we said that the track looks like? When you picture Albert Park in your head, what does it look like?
It looked like a loose, square-ish curve thing to me, visually.
Okay. The-
That sounded like the most shape that was not a shape. Okay.
It pretty.
If you ask somebody who woke up from a nap, describe a shape, that's what it would sound like.
It looked
Well, to
pretty
be
boring.
fair,
I know,
Ashwati
I
did just
agree
wake
with
up
you.
from a nap.
That's true.
That is true. And do you know what? I'm really hungry, so to me it looked like a KFC chicken wing.
Yes, that's exactly what we said last year. Well done.
There we go.
So,
Yeah.
Kevin, why don't I hand it over to you to take us around Albert Park and pretend like we're strapped into that car with you?
Okay, so picture this. Okay, you're
Mhm.
flying down the main straight with like the lake flashing on your right and the Melbourne skyline in the distance. You dive into turn one, you're fast, you're committed, and immediately flick a left at turn two. The car's dancing as everyone fights for space. The first sector feels open and flowing, like you're gliding through a park at like ridiculous speeds. Then the track tightens. You brake hard, the nose dips, curves come at you quickly, walls feel closer than they've looked on TV. Watch out for turn 9 though. That's where most cars go off and into the gravel.
Yeah.
In the final sector, it opens up again. One heavy braking zone at turn 11, one last right-hander at 14, and you get that exit right. You launch right back onto the straight like you've been fired out of a slingshot. Albert Park looks calm and pretty, but at racing speed, it's like pure tension wrapped in sunshine.
Ooh, I love that analogy. And one additional thing, we spoke about the wings, the flexi wings aero and overtake mode and stuff like that in the last button, right? So I assume those reflect on the track as well.
Absolutely. There are not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 straight mode zones where the rear and the front wing do their thing. Flex or flatten to give the car an aero edge.
Yep.
Between the start and turn 1, turns 2
Yep.
to 3, 5 to 6, 8 to 9, and 10 to 11. Only one overtake zone right at the end of turn 14, though.
I remember seeing this video where Nico Hulkenberg was saying that they're all going to be technically rookies on track this year.
Yeah.
Because they really don't know how the cars are going to be reacting to the track.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting to see just how that plays out. Not
Yeah.
as interesting as last year when we had 6 rookies and rain. Even if you guys remember, we were watching it together. Absolutely chaotic first race for 2025.
Oh, God, that was fun.
Yeah, it was amazing. Lando kicked things off that season and got the win for McLaren, but it was tough. Verstappen was right behind him, and I feel like that sort of set the tone for how the season looked, at least the
Yeah.
second half anyway. And then we have Piastri, our own Melbourne boy. It looked like it was so close. It looked like he was done. The race was done when he stepped into the grass. The
Yeah.
crowd gas, we were all like shocked, but then he somehow kept it together, wrestled the car back, and stayed in the fight. It was a beautiful moment. I think also
Yeah.
Red Bull, if I remember correctly, was quick last year, at least the first driver. Ferrari had moments, but we didn't really. We got our first race people. We developed throughout the season, and Mercedes are also trying to figure it out. The midfield was really interesting. Lots of crazy battles. Everybody was scrapping for those points.
Yeah.
Just shout out to this really wholesome moment with Hadja last year when he went off in the formation lap, if you remember. And there was a
Yeah.
sweet moment with Papa Hamilton, and it was lovely just to see him start from there and then end at that podium. This
Yes.
super cool. Yeah. I feel like Melbourne sets the tone and gives us the start for those championship storylines that we need. And then it sort
Yeah.
of takes
Yeah.
top there. So that's pretty cool.
Was it that it was Norris and Max, right, who won in Melbourne? It basically was like predicting what's gonna happen at the end of the season,
Yeah.
which is kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that moment with Oscar when he was stuck on that grass and he like for normally what most drivers do is like put it in reverse and then they get even further stuck in the grass. But he did a really cool thing of like moving
Oh, that
forward
was
and like
amazing.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the funny bit was like right before that, the week before that, he was in Jeremy Clarkson's farm, and Jeremy Clarkson taught him how to do that on a tractor.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like because he was on the farm and he was doing like whatever, like PR stuff,
Yeah.
right? and he got stuck somewhere, and Jeremy Clarkson was like, "Hey, how about you don't reverse, but go forward and then take it through." In fact, I remember after the Melbourne race, Oscar tweeted about it, saying like, "Thanks, Jeremy Clarkson, for
What?
teaching me." It was, yeah, that was a very, and there were a lot of fun moments in Melbourne race last year. I think that was the first time we heard the words, "My seat is like full of water, full of water." Must be the water.
That really, I feel like that really set the tone for the rest of the season. Like all the
Yeah.
radio messages after that have just been pure gold, pure gold.
Right. But I
Yeah.
feel like between Charles and Brian, it's still like you can still see some sort of, okay, we're gonna make this work, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Adami, the guy who tormented Vettel, Carlos Sainz, and so many other people, lasted one season with Lewis. Lewis was like, "I will shoot this man if you don't ask him to go." But
Dude.
yeah, that was Ferrari radios were an interesting thing to listen to.
Right after Ferrari radios, the other one that takes the cake was Alonso. Like Alonso had his
I
moments.
cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.
Oh God, Alonso had his moments. Like the
Yeah.
thing is, it genuinely, like, it feels like when you were hearing that, it feels like trying to like explain something to your dad, and your dad's just
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
please, buddy, please.
yes.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing, buddy, please.
Oh.
I also loved how Carlos, like, his race is over. He went out on a spin. Then he turned
Mhm.
strategist for Alex. You can never take my man
Yes.
out of a job. He will find something to do. That was super cool.
Yeah, in fact I think even Alex mentioned it in his interviews afterwards
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
if it
Yeah.
weren't for Carlos, I wouldn't have pitted in the right time,
Yeah.
which is amazing. The other thing that I remember, because I was having this F1 journal, right? We'll do that this year also. But the one commentator joke that Crofty made, because everyone's tires were just losing it, and he said, "Oh my God, all the tires are going off like last week's milk." I was like, "Ugh, oh my God." But speaking of tires, this weekend we are going to see the tire allocation as given by Pirelli. First of all, we're only back to 5 compounds. Last time we had 6. We're back to the 5, and this time they're bringing C3, C4, C5, which is the softest set in the whole list of tires that we have. The weather in Melbourne, not as exciting as what it was last year. It's going to be hot and dry, which I guess is okay, but that does mean that track temps is going to be much, much higher.
Yeah.
Given this condition, plus the softest tires, I'm hoping it encourages a lot more pit stops. And maybe by what we've seen so far, Mercedes might struggle a little bit because they do better in cold tires anyway. Right?
I think that we can't take any historical information going into this first race because there's
That's true.
so many factors that are so different. But
Mhm.
since you did mention that, what are your podium predictions for this race that we have?
Podium predictions. I think I'm just going to do race predictions. Okay. I'm not doing like
Yeah.
qualifying and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Oscar, Max, and Russell. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That I can live with that. Yeah. What about you, Ashwati? What do you got for us?
I'm gonna say Oscar,
Mm-hmm.
Russell, and Leclerc. Like a neckline.
Ah. Okay.
I thought
okay.
Ferrari fans don't say anything until me
Podium
now
is
what
fine.
happened?
Little bit high on Hopium. Too much ahead today.
Yeah, that's valid.
What about you?
I think I mean, like, I've got to stick to what I said at the start. Max, Lando,
Possible?
and who do I put in number 3? Lewis Hamilton.
We'll take it.
Oh,
This is
Oh,
that will be if that works out. If that works
guys.
out, ooh.
I will buy you
the
some
chances
beer.
of maybe 1 and 2 working out is still fine. Number 3, that's going to be the money shot.
yeah.
That's where it's at.
No, that'll be interesting. I think it's But like, what do you have any other predictions for the race? Like, do you think someone's going to crash out or like?
Yes. So like this is something that we do in chat before the race starts. So I predict two crashes.
Okay.
It's a sunny race, so 3 yellow flags,
Okay.
1 red flag.
Nice.
I have a
Yeah.
prediction. I feel like with the
Okay.
race starts being what it is, and it's going to be the first time they're going to do it. I feel like somebody's going to mess up the race start. There's going to be a crash and a red flag at the race start. That's it.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a fun one.
What about you, Nish?
I think Arvid Lindblad is going to put the car directly into Liam Lawson's car. For all the hype.
just that race footage, and in the background, "Aaye, aapka intezar tha."
Because I mean, I don't know about this kid. Like, he's been aura farming like crazy.
Yeah.
He's put all this. Have you seen F1 Instagram put like all these
I'm so
photos?
sorry. I'm
What?
so sorry. But he's been aura farming like crazy.
Yes.
I'm
Ma'am,
with it.
ma'am, can we please?
like I mean, okay, no, I'm not. I don't get my information from actual Gen Z. I am just chronically
Right.
online. That's
Right.
that's where the aura farming stuff comes from.
Got it.
But
got
yeah,
it,
anyway,
got it.
so I really think, honestly, like, initially it was very cute when everyone's like, oh my god, Arvind
Yeah.
Lindblad. Sorry, I kept calling him Arvid. So
Arvind.
Arvind instead of Arvid. He's Swedish British. Everyone's treating him like he's India's son. I get it, okay? Like, you are not Naren Karthikeyan. Please relax.
Oh, love it. Love it.
But he
Throwback to
was
the OG, NK.
right. He was here in Delhi. We spoke about it in the last episode. He was here in Delhi
Yeah.
doing his nani came and put like tika and all. I'm just like, okay, listen, there is baiting
There
the Indian
there is-
audience.
But I mean, to each their own. It's a great way to capture a market that necessarily is
True.
one of the largest markets to capture.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a better way to do that than representation. That's what they did with Zhou Guan Yu. That's
Yeah.
what, like the Chinese market, they were able to kind of like technically capture it because
True.
of
Yeah.
his presence during the race. And I feel like they're doing that now with India. I'm not saying that he isn't a gifted driver, but
We don't know.
yeah,
We'll find
we
out.
will see.
Like, to your point, when you said Zhou Guan Yu, think about where we were with like China in terms of going there to race at all. And now we
Mhm.
have the Shanghai International Circuit, which is full
Absolutely.
always. We have
Yeah.
Lenovo, right?
Mhm.
There's so many brands that have come in because of that. And
Of course.
honestly, right now with Arvid and all of the
Mhm.
conversations that are happening around it, and Adani slowly like
Yeah.
getting into the
Yes.
conversation,
Yes.
maybe reopening Buddh International Circuit.
Absolutely.
Like you said, it was
It's very
used for the
interesting.
Moto Jam, right? For the first time
Yeah.
in many, many years. So
Yeah.
I'm not
Maybe.
too annoyed by it.
I'm really interested to see what the thing is. Yes, it's just a matter of not if it's going to happen in India, it's a matter of when it's going to happen in India.
Yeah.
But I'm
Correct.
really interested to see how the implementation of it will be because
Mm.
like in a lot of regions, there are a lot of like regional factors that also play into the setup of motorsport.
Yeah.
Setting up an event and stuff like that. And as you know, in India, there are certain challenges that are
Mhm.
there that might arise. So I want to see how the motorsport community overcomes them, and we hopefully have racing, F1
Yeah.
races back at the circuit because to this day there are drivers that still fondly remember the circuit, and
Yeah.
that's something that as an Indian I'm very surprised but also very proud to, be a part of the nation that does that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. If you like this episode, follow, subscribe, and share with a fellow F1 fan or someone you'd like to bring over to this side. You got any predictions or hot takes for the Melbourne race? Please find us on Instagram. The link is in the description. We are building a community on Instagram and we're very, very desperate to have you join us. Thank you. We will see you on the next episode of the F101 podcast.
Bye.